Hello, everybody. Andrew C. Marshall here. Welcome to the back of my hearse. So today we're talking with TopHouse. Americana folk, is that the best?
I guess
How do you guys label yourself? Do you like to label yourself?
We don't believe in labels.
I like Montana folk.
Montana folk.
Yeah,
These guys are from Montana, mostly West Montana, right?
Yeah.
Butte,
Yeah.
Missoula.
Yep.
So we've got Joe Larson right here on lead vocals and banjo in the band. We got Jesse Davis on acoustic guitar. They do a myriad of things. They're all changing instruments when you see them live. It's a pretty cool thing. We got William Cook over on the fiddle, and we got Andy LaFave on piano, and everybody's doing vocals, and it sounds beautiful.
Let me correct you. He prefers violin.
He prefers violin.
Don't you?
I do.
He's changed.
Longer I've been in Nashville, more fiddle's been okay. But
Oh, okay. Never mind. As you
more,
would.
it's more
fiddleified.
okay. Okay, more
You're
okay.
getting
More okay.
Well, I definitely didn't mean any disrespect.
We're out.
So, tell me about your art in relation to death. You guys have one song that's inspired. Well, the story's kind of inspired by death, right?
Yeah, written in the rain.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird one because I feel like we didn't really have a real reason for writing about death
Yeah.
other than we were sitting there, like Jesse and I were in the basement. It was raining outside. We had a musical riff.
Hence the name.
Yeah, written in the rain.
Gotcha.
And we sort of came up with a bit of the chorus, like some of the lines, and then we were like, well, let's just like make up a story, and we settled on a story about a guy dying alone in a cabin, remembering his life, kind of reminiscing, thinking about like lost love, like
Kind of wanting to go back to the place where he was happiest to die. And I feel like that kind of, I didn't realize this till now, but maybe that kind of, I always tell people, I work in a restaurant, and I always tell people I'm from Montana, and they're like, oh, you like it here or you like it in Montana? And I say, I like it here, but I think I want to die in Montana. And sometimes I get a kind of a shock to almost morbid response, and sometimes people seem to totally get what I mean.
Right.
And I wonder if that's kind of where Written in the Rain sort of came from. I never thought
I feel like that bridge. It's like I hear the rain falling outside, the cold enters, the fire dies. Before I close my eyes, I look out the window, I see you one more time. It's kind of like like that last like dying content, I suppose, is sort of the picture of it. Like I'm where I want to be when I close my eyes.
Do you guys all kind of have that connection to Montana? Like that?
Definitely.
I feel like that's so common in the West to have that really deep connection with the mountains and with nature and with your surroundings.
Yeah, pictures don't do justice.
No, they
songs
don't.
really either.
You know, it's funny what you said about wanting to die in Montana. My great-grandfather always said if he knew where he was going to die, he just wouldn't go there. And he didn't go there. They took him there. So you guys, you're comfortable there. You love it there, but you're willing to sacrifice a little comfort and a little security for the unknown of your love and passion of music. So, a life well lived is like, some people would view that as incredibly unnecessarily risky to do that at all. But what is a life well lived?
For me personally, I feel like satisfaction is sort of the end goal. And I ideally don't want to be satisfied until I'm old, because then I'll be ready to die. In a non-morbid kind of a way. I think once I've reached a level of satisfaction, I'll be like, okay, I've done what I've really wanted to do.
So there's an aspect
I'm ready
of
to
quantity
just kind
there.
of maybe an aspect of quantity.
Yeah, I think like for me, there's always a a question of like, am I gonna regret doing what I'm doing like when I'm in 10 years or 20 years from now? I want to be able to like look at my life and be like, all right, at least I like tried, I gave it a shot, and like I don't know, like I feel like I get like the satisfaction thing. I feel like I don't believe that you can ever be satisfied in this world. Like I just think it's impossible. I think that we're always going to be like looking for something more deeper, and I think that so I think like death is just kind of like comes, and then like that's satisfaction happens like after that, I think. But
Satisfaction happens after death.
well, yeah,
There's a payout after death.
I believe that, yeah. I'm a Christian, so I have that faith in like a full satisfaction after death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy, what about you? You feel pretty comfortable with death?
I do. I mean, I'm a Catholic and I was raised Catholic, and
Okay.
and memento mori and all that. I feel like I feel like similar. We were talking before this. You were talking about how you were friends with a lot of like elderly people when you were younger, and so you went to a lot of funerals and saw a lot of death. I kind of had a very similar experience growing up.
Okay.
I feel like I was talking to my fiance recently, and we were talking about funerals, and she has only been to a handful of funerals in her life, and I'm like, well, I've been to I don't know how many funerals I've been to,
Right.
and
Funeral expert.
so I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not afraid of death or losing people or losing things, but I mean, just like the fact that death is a reality and is just as much a part of life as anything else is. I mean, I feel like I'm comfortable with that idea.
Have you ever been close to death?
Myself, no.
No. What about you, William? You've been close to death before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few different times. So most of them voluntary.
Most of them voluntary?
Something weird about it for me. I've never really been too scared of death. Like myself, I am very scared of other people dying though.
Okay.
It scares me to think of like loved ones or like friends dying off.
And is that fear based more out of the pain that they might feel or the pain that you'll feel after they go?
That is a great question, and I want to say that it's definitely both. I think that the idea of missing them is just there's this great C.S. Lewis quote where there's a certain thing you bring out in someone when you talk to them that can never come back if that person dies. And so in a weird way, like kind of not just like your interaction with them or their interactions with you die, but also like little parts of everyone that knew that person kind of dies with them just because of just who they were.
Four walls and a fireplace, the only thing that separates me from the cold outside. I recall how the dancing flames kept us in their warm embrace until the morning light. Your song written in the rain, under an autumn sky, watching all the colors change. You're the sound of it falling on the leaves, the coffee in my hand that warms me as I dream. Four walls and a fireplace, the only thing remaining of a time that's come and passed. Shadows cast by a dying flame, shades of two but one in they now one alone I am. You were a song written in the rain, under an autumn sky, watching all the colors change. You were the sound of the falling on the leaves, a song written in the rain. Under an autumn sky, watching all the colors change. You were the sound of it falling on the leaves. The coffee in my hand that warms me as I dream.
Guys, thanks for talking. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
You guys are dope.
Likewise.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for
We
having
expect
us.
our check in the mail within 3 business days.
It's going to be one of those big ones. So
That's right.
it's a really big
That's
one.
what I'm looking forward to.